What's up, guys? Duster McDangles back here with another video, and welcome back to the NHL season preview series here back in the Metropolitan Division. And in today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the New York Rangers. We'll take a look at how they did last year. We'll take a look at team stats, players in and out of the squad, as well as take a look at projected lineups, contracts, and preview what I think they're going to do this upcoming season. But if you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We've been growing like crazy, and I can't thank you guys for the love and support you've been showing the channel recently. We're trying to hit 750 subscribers before the new year. So if you're new to the channel and you like anything hockey, we'll be doing this all season. So hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. But without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into this one and take a look at the New York Rangers. Having had a solid season last year, the New York Rangers made a solid push in the playoffs, making it to the Eastern Conference Finals before falling to the Tampa Bay Lightning 4-2. They finished the season off with 110 points and a record of 52, 24, and 6. That was good enough for second place in the Metropolitan Division, only behind the champion Carolina Hurricanes of the Metro. Team stats on the screen right now as well. Goals for, they were only 16th in the league, but goals against, they were second. Power play, they were 25.2% with a penalty kill of 82.3%. A couple of noteworthy performances last year. Panarin, 96 points in only 75 games played. Zibanejad had 81 points in 81 games played. Kreider had 77 points in 81 games played. And then I think one of the more interesting ones that needs to have a better regular season, Lafreniere had only 31 points in 79 games played. That's someone to note moving forward that will need to have a big season if the Rangers are to stay where they were last year or even get further to the Stanley Cup final. But taking a look now at the players in and out of the squad. Players that have left the squad include the list of Ryan Strome, Andrew Kopp, who came over during the season last year, Frank Vetrano. You've got Kevin Rooney also leaving this squad, Patrick Nemeth on the back end, and between the pipes, Alexander Georgiev has left for greener pastures and the Colorado Avalanche. New players into the squad include the likes of Vinny Trocheck, Ryan Carpenter, and goaltender Yaroslav Halak. Those are the only new additions, so they actually lost more than they gained, but they still have youth in their squad, as on your screen right now is their projected, or are their projected lines. Again, this is completely up for debate because there could be injuries, there could be other players that just aren't on this, but this is per this site. I'd say top 3 lines are pretty solid depending on how they will do during the regular season. I know in the playoffs that Lafreniere, Hedl, and Kakko line, the kid line, was absolutely insane. They played out of their minds, making it so deep because of them, I would say. But top line, you've got Kreider, Zibanejad, and Sammy Blais. I think Panarin and Blais could be interchangeable just to stack that first line. But second line, as they have it, is Panarin, Trocheck, and Kravtsov. Again, I think Kravtsov could be interchanged with Kakko or Lafreniere depending on how they're playing. Third line is the kid line right now, Lafreniere, Hedl, and Kakko. And then your fourth line, as of right now, per this site, is Goudreau, Carpenter, and Reeves. Again, very solid lines. I don't think there's anything too crazy that stands off the map. Again, you can stack some lines and make some things look very good, but depending on how they play during the regular season could be something that will play effect of what the lines are actually going to be. Again, last year I mentioned Lafreniere only had 31 points in 79 games played, but even worse, Kaapo Kakko, he only played a little bit of the season, but he only had 18 points in 43 games played. So that's something to keep in mind, at least for some young guns, that they are high draft picks for them, that they are expecting a lot out of. They're going to need more out of those two players right there, Lafreniere and Kakko combined. Now, when it comes to the back end, I would say the Rangers are pretty stacked, have a couple, I'd say a diamond in the rough in Keandre Miller, having really popped off last playoff season and showed us he is a defenseman in the NHL. I wouldn't say quite elite, but he is right below that echelon of elite type defenseman. I'd say defending defenseman. Offensively, we'll have to wait and see, but he is a great defenseman. Lines, again, you can mix and match these pairs, but Lindgren, Fox, then you've got Miller and Trouba, the new captain of the Rangers, and then you've got Jones and Schneider there on the back end. Again, there's a lot of mix and matching there, but I think that top line, Lindgren, Fox, Miller, Trouba, I think those are pretty stout defensive pairings. And depending on injuries, who knows? Again, for every team, injuries could be a thing, but so far the Rangers are looking pretty solid. I don't expect them to have too many injuries because they got some young guys in there, especially Fox. I mean, elite defenseman, won the Norris a few years back. He is a solid defenseman. And then between the pipes, you've got Shesterkin, Vezina winning trophy, goaltender, and Halak. Again, I expect Shesterkin to be one of the top 3 goaltenders in the league this upcoming season, but will he be able to get offensive and defensive play in front of him is the big question mark. And I think Halak, very competent second string goaltender for games that he needs to be thrown in the net. Now, taking a look at their contracts right now on the screen, you got a bunch of guys, especially up front when it comes to having contract years. Philip Hedl being one of them, 23 years old, is a restricted free agent coming up after this season. They're going to have to find a way to pay him. You've got Ryan Reeves, who I think they'll probably let go after the end of this year. You got Sammy Blais, who's going to be up for contract. He is 26 years old. They need to find a way to get him done. You've got Lafreniere coming off of his entry-level contract. You're going to have to find a way to pay him. I think he's going to get more of a bridge deal around that Hedl or Capo deal of like the 2.5 to 2.3 range. You've got Drayden Hunt and Ryan Carpenter, all players who are basically, again, depth players, a little bit younger, other than Carpenter being 31 years old. And then on the back end, you've got Keandre Miller, I think is the biggest contract that needs to be done. He's still on his entry-level deal, going on the last year of his deal. They'll have to pay him big time. I think he'll be around that Ryan Lindgren range, bridge deal, to see if he can continue to do it some more. So around that 3 to maybe even 5 million range, I think would be a fair deal. It's just a matter of getting the years right. And then other than that, you've got Haisha on the back end as well, and then Zachary Jones on his entry as well. 21 years old. We'll have to wait and see how he does this year in a more full-time role on the back end. And then between the pipes, Shesterkin is locked up for a little while here, and then Halak is more of a rent-a-goalie, so nothing too crazy there. But when it comes to my predictions for this upcoming season for the Rangers, I expect them to be in the hunt, but I do, however, think they're going to take a little bit of a step back. I think early on in the regular season, they will have a hard time trying to find the back of the net. I think Shesterkin is going to play solid. The defense in front of him is also going to play solid, but my question mark is their actual goal scoring ability in the regular season. After a great run in the playoffs, are they going to have a little bit of a slump coming into this upcoming season, almost like how the Islanders did against the Tampa Bay Lightning, and then everyone expected the Islanders to make it to the Stanley Cup? Again, 2 completely different teams, but just comparing the Rangers and the Islanders in that similar fashion. You make a great run, almost make it to the Cup and lose. Are they going to have a similar year? Hopefully the injury bug does not hit them hard like it did the Islanders, but you never know. In hockey, anything is possible. Again, they could pop off, prove me and maybe some other doubters wrong. I wouldn't say I'm doubting the Rangers, but I have a feeling they're going to have a little bit of that hangover earlier in their season that they're going to have to make up for later on, which I don't know if they'll be able to cover enough ground to be where they were last year at second in the division. I expect them to be maybe third or fighting for a wild card spot, but I do see the Rangers making the playoffs. They're going to be a tough team to beat in the playoffs, and I think if I had to pick for breakout players between Kako and Lafreniere, I'm going to have to go with Lafreniere. Big contract year. I think he's going to have a great year. I'm thinking 60 points for Lafreniere would be respectable to earn him a bridge deal, and I think he's going to pop off. I think Blais is going to have a great year. I think Fox is going to have a great year. And the one player that needs to have an unbelievable season, I know he played great last year, but he's going to need to hit that 100-point mark if they want to make the playoffs, and that's going to be Panarin. He's got to stay healthy. He's got to score goals. He's got to put them in the back of the net on the power play. He's got to be their go-to guy if they want to be able to be where they were last year and beyond to try to make the Stanley Cup final. But I could be completely wrong about these guys, but let me know down below in the comments. I want to hear from you Rangers fans out there. Who's going to be the breakout performer this year? What do they need to do in order to make it further than they did last year? Is Shesterkin going to be another rock-solid goaltender as he was last year? Is Fox going to have a Norris winning season again like years past? And is Panarin going to be a Hart Trophy candidate? I want to hear from you guys down below in the comments. But if you've made it to this point in the video, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We've got awesome videos coming up. The hockey season is right around the corner. It's preseason right now, which is great, but the regular season is just around the corner. So hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any hockey content. But that's going to be it for today's episode. If you guys enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up button. But I hope you guys have a good one. And as always, stay dusty.